Welcome. I am Mirto Mangriotti and I want to congratulate you for being here. I'm sure you chose to be here because you and I, like so many other people we know, are trying to find a life of less stress, more balance, and a greater purpose. What you will learn today is about a lifestyle that's all that and more. It's called the Oola life. I found out about Oola through my Canfield network. As a certified Success Principles Canfield trainer, I was looking for an online coaching tool which applies these principles and gets results fast. I wanted an easy and straightforward program that would help my clients and at the same time give them the opportunity to have the support they need through some private coaching. To tell you the truth, when they recommended Oola, I was skeptical because in Greek, Oola is a bad sounding word, like slang, kind of my name in English, which would be Myrtle. When I mention it, especially in the UK, I sometimes get muffled laughs. But in Greek, Myrto is a great ancient name, and yes, I am Greek, in case you didn't know. But if you're not Greek, I bet you don't know that Ula or Ola in Greek means everything. In that context, for me, Ula life also means to have everything you want in your life. How about that? So I decided to dig in and test the program myself. I fell in love with it. It was everything I hoped for and more. It has the structure, the flow, and the support you need to start creating the life you want. Ula is an idea, a concept, but it's also a way of living. It includes a great community of people who strive to live a Ula life and be the best versions of themselves. Today, I'm a certified Oola life coach, and together we are going to break down the process of Oola and help you find the life you dream of and deserve, the Oola life. So, let me ask you this. Do you want better connections with your family and friends, better health and more vitality? Do you want more money at the end of the month and financial security for your future? Do you want a job that you love, to have fun and live a life filled with purpose? Hell, yes, I'm sure you do because everyone does. But instead, you get swallowed up by the unbalanced world around us and find yourself the opposite of an Ula life. You probably feel stressed, out of balance, and with little to no direction in life, right? The reality is that most of us have gone through ups and downs, and everywhere we look, we see evidence of an unbalanced world, especially during these difficult times. You see it in the paper, on the news, on social media, or in your daily conversations. But maybe you don't even realize how much it affects all areas of your life and even the next generation. Let's look at some of the stats because I want you to start thinking about these specific areas of your life, and then I'll give you the solution to all of this. One in three represents the statistic that one in three Americans are clinically obese. And the real problem is that it's now affecting our kids. The rate of childhood diabetes is an epidemic. One in five children in the world is overweight. Four in 10 people in the world are overweight. No wonder that 9% of the deaths in the world are due to obesity. When we dig into health and fitness today, we realize that there is fast food around every corner, and we are becoming less and less active. We have moved from eating whole foods around the dinner table to eating processed foods in front of our TV. We have moved from walking and moving throughout towns and villages just a couple of generations ago to sitting in cars, sitting at desks, and sitting on sofas watching Netflix at the end of the night. We eat to numb our emotions and stress. Can you relate to any of this? I certainly can. I was overweight for a few years because of stress. It was a time I felt awful about myself. My self esteem had rock bottom. My life was completely unbalanced, and problems in one area of my life affected also other areas. I ate to find some pleasure, or so I thought. But it made things even worse because it created more problems for me. How I turned my life around? By using the 3 steps I'll share with you in a few minutes. But let's see some more facts. This is staggering. 7 out of 10 of us have less than $1,000 saved for an emergency. And this is true for Americans and Europeans. That means that if anything happens, the air conditioner goes out, a tire blows, or a medical emergency happens, we don't have the money to fix it. And 7 out of 10 of us will have to go into debt to pay for it. Speaking of debt, consumer debt is at an all time high everywhere in the world. Even countries have huge debts. It has become the new norm. How stressful is that? Waiting for economies to collapse, worrying about inflation, recession, and how this will affect you. Are you ready to cope? Oola recommends having 7 months worth of your budget saved up for emergencies in order to feel safe and be able to cope with whatever life may throw at you. So, where are you on this? Do you have savings or do you have debt? I'm saying this and it's just food for thought. Wherever you are, today is the day that you'll start changing your life for the better. Let's look at another one. This is a statistic that you may have heard many times. 53% of marriages end in divorce. But what that doesn't reflect are the marriages holding on by a thread, the toxic family relationships, and all the other fun stuff that goes into this function. Think about it. How is your family life? And how about this? 55 to 67% of people hate their jobs depending on the country. 60% of people report being emotionally detached at work, and 19% as being miserable. Only one third reported feeling engaged. In the US specifically, 50% of workers reported feeling stressed at their jobs on a daily basis. 41% as being worried, 22% as being sad, and 18% angry. Just look at the last 4 slides. 53% of marriages end in divorce, and 60% of us hate our jobs. That means that over half of us sit in traffic to get to a job we hate, and then sit in traffic again to come home to a spouse we can't stand. And we do that over and over and over again. And on top of that, we are in debt or stressed about money. And what do? We stuff our bodies with junk food to forget about all this. And we call that a life. That's definitely not an Oola life. And what about fun? At Oola, we believe that at the end of your days, you should look back at your life with fond memories that include a long list of epic adventures, dinner table giggles, loving moments, and a legacy of purpose and meaning. Yet, most of us won't. We'll be taking our last breath wishing that we would have worked less, taken that trip, climbed that mountain, or said that I love you more often. Don't let this be you. Live a life of amazingness. Live a life of Oola. Oola is the solution to the unbalanced world. Let's define it and talk about it. Oola is a noun which represents a lifestyle based on the international best-selling book. It's the state of awesomeness when your life is balanced and growing in the seven areas of life, what we call the seven F's of Oola: fitness, finance, family, field, faith, friends, and fun. And of course, don't forget about the Greek meaning of the word, everything, or for me, having it all. Let me give you now some background about Oola. Oola has become a global movement, and Oola was started by these two guys, Dave and Dr. Troy. And that thing on the right is the Oola bus, which you will learn more about in this short video.
In 1997, the Oola Guru shared the importance of a balanced life to the Oola seeker. They began to meet yearly in Las Vegas to set goals helping them achieve success in the 7 key areas of an Oola life. But over time they lost touch. The Oola seeker drifted from the simple Oola principles and found himself at the bottom, bankrupt, divorced, and defeated. Discouraged and living in a motel, he called his old friend, the Oola Guru, who lived a balanced life and was achieving continual success. They reunited and made a plan to uncover the lost principles that helped them find balance in business and life. Seeing firsthand these simple principles work yet again, they became passionate about sharing. They wrote an international bestseller detailing the 7 areas of life needed to find balance and be happy. The Oola guys are crisscrossing the country in a 1970 VW surf bus, sharing Oola, inspiring hope, collecting dreams, and helping people achieve them. They are committed to changing the world with a word, helping people remove what is blocking them, to reveal their greatness and extraordinary purpose within.
Without using the principles of Oola in my life, I know I would not be where I am today.
It's real.
Fitness helped me regain my whole life.
Just seeing your goals right in front of you, it's motivating and it's inspiring.
Now it's your turn to experience the Oola life.
Getting your Oola life is simple, but I can't guarantee it is always going to be easy. What I can tell you for sure is that's always worth it. Today, as promised, I'm going to give you the 3 simple steps to your Oola life. Have you ever been in a new city and had to drive somewhere and you had no clue how to get there? What did you do? Well, you simply grab your smartphone and type in the destination. But before that, your phone does something that you may have missed all these years. Your smartphone has a GPS that automatically locates where you are right now. And that is the first step that you have to do in order to change any aspect of your life. To create a life of less stress, more balance, and greater purpose, you need to know where you are today in the 7 key areas of life. But what most people do is they live on autopilot, hoping that things will change for the better in some miraculous way. And that's the first mistake. They never pause to take some time and examine their daily life, either because they're too scared or too unhappy and prefer not to know, or because they don't even realize it, or they're too busy and leave it for later. And life passes them by until they get a serious wake up call or just continue living a mediocre and maybe even miserable life. In order to fix something, you need to know what's wrong. And this is what you're going to figure out now. Step one of the 3 simple steps of your Oola life is called the Oola wheel. And this is how it works. The Oola wheel represents all areas of your life as defined by the 7 F's of Oola: fitness, finance, family, field, faith, friends, and fun. What you have to do is rate each area of your life from 1 to 10. 1 being non existent or totally miserable, and 10 being flying to the moon. I couldn't be better. When you truthfully take a look into your life and complete the Oola wheel, you'll be able to clearly see how your wheel rolls. In other words, where your life is balanced and what needs fixing. I'm going to tell you exactly what each F is about in a bit, but to dig deeper, I want to give you a tool you can use, the Oola Wheel Assessment Quiz. And this is the link, and you can find it in the comments below. It consists of a total of 21 questions to help you assess your life. Once you complete the Oola Wheel, you'll know exactly where you're now and have a good idea about where your stress or lack of purpose may be coming from. Then we move on to step 2, which is deciding what you want your life to look like from now on. But before we go there, let's talk about wants and dreams. We all had amazing dreams and even crazy dreams growing up. I wanted to be like the naturalist lady from Gorillas in the Mist, if you know it. You know, the one Sigourney Weaver plays. Of course, at that time, I was reading the true story in National Geographic. I wanted to learn about organisms, including animals, fungi, and plants, observe them in their natural habitat, and be close to them. I wanted to live in nature and help them, be there. But somewhere along the way, we lost those dreams. A teacher, a mother, a brother, a friend, or maybe even your own mind told you that what you wanted was stupid or impossible, or that you weren't good enough, smart enough, good looking enough to do it, and you believed it. And what did you do? You started to plan and live your life based on these limiting beliefs. You built a life inside this box, surrounded by walls that you put up in your mind, and you did that yourself. And that's mistake number two that most people do in their lives, sometimes without even realizing it. And they wonder why they're unhappy. Today, we'll start tearing down those walls, breaking through what's holding you back, and start to rebuild the life you were designed to live. One of the greatest lessons that the Oola guys teach from stage is the lesson called You Be You. And it means exactly what it says. Think about what makes you happy, what excites you and inspires you, not your parents or your spouse or society. You can't make anyone happy if you're miserable. Emotions and state of mind are contagious. The best thing you can do for yourself and everyone around you is you be you. Stop thinking of what you should be doing and start dreaming big about what you want. And that takes us to step number two. Step number two is deciding where you want to go with the 7 areas of your life. And for this step, you're going to take a little time to plan your Oola life by going through each F of Oola and thinking about a dream or a goal. I want you to grab a notebook if you don't already have one. And as I go through the 7 F's, write your goal or dream down. Pause and think about it before going to the next area. Because by the end of this hour, I want you to have at least 7 goals written down. Let's start with Oola Fitness. Everything health and wellness in your life, primarily referring to how you use your body and what you put in your body. And that includes your thoughts. What would you like to achieve in this area? Lose some weight? Quit a bad habit like smoking or drinking too much alcohol? Maybe it's TV binging or wasting time on social media. How about exercising, running a marathon, subscribing to a gym, start doing yoga or Pilates? Maybe it's scheduling a checkup. Look at this backache that you've had for a while. One of my goals was actually a long overdue checkup that I've been postponing for years. The moment I wrote it down as a goal, I did it. And this is exactly how this process works. Any goal that has to do with health, fitness, and wellness goes here. Write down at least one now if you haven't already done so. Next is Oola Finance. These are all personal finance, like in increasing your income or paying off debt, buying a house or a car, consulting a professional to open an investment account, creating a plan to save for retirement, or creating a monthly budget. This is an area of our life that creates a lot of stress if it's not balanced, and it usually affects many other areas too. That's why Oola has a specific program to help you get your finances in order. So if you're struggling with your finances and need help, let's schedule a meeting and I can walk you through this program and discuss your options. Before we go to the next area, write your financial goals now. Next is Oola family. Single, committed, married, divorced, stepkids, kids, of course, extended family, all belong here. So, what's something you want for your family? Maybe it's to have a better relationship with your spouse or finding the one. Maybe it's spending more time with your children, like eating dinner together every night or doing something special every Sunday. Maybe it's reconnecting with a relative, fixing a relationship that has gone wrong. Think of a specific goal and write it down. Next is Oola Field, which is your career, the calling you devoted your life to. It includes being a homemaker, a stay at home parent, or what you do after you retire. What do you really want in this area? What is your dream if you stop thinking of how you're going to achieve it or what it would mean to the people around you? What's your passion? What would make your working life truly enjoyable? Maybe it's just a small tweak to your current job, or maybe it's a big leap like switching careers. Is it asking for a promotion or a raise, having an assistant, launching your own business, doing volunteer work, learning a new skill that will help your career? Think about it and write at least one goal down. Next is Oola Field, and it's based on gratitude, humility, and an understanding of our greater purpose in the world. Whatever your faith is, it's important to stay connected with it. The problem is we don't talk about it anymore because there's so much division around it and it has become politically incorrect. We shouldn't turn into faith only when the going gets tough, but practice it regularly. My number one goal has to do with Wula faith. There was a time in my life I was so depressed I could not feel gratitude about anything in my life. I reached a point that I realized I needed to do something, and that's when I found help in self development books and courses. They all teach that the first thing you need to do before you ask for what you want is be grateful for what you already have. In the beginning, this felt impossible for me to do, but slowly I retrained myself to find gratitude even in the little things of our daily lives. I now try to live by my five core spiritual values, which are gratitude, love, acceptance, authenticity, and playfulness. My number one goal is to be present in the moment and experience life according to these values. It's what makes my life so fulfilling, and even when difficulties inevitably show up, I can cope a lot better and recover faster. So, what will you put as a goal in this area of your life? Some ideas could be daily prayer, meditation, or journaling about gratitude. Or it could be going to a meditation retreat or reading a book that supports your faith. Or maybe finding three things to be grateful for each day. It could even be defining your five core spiritual values and try to live by them. Next is Ula Friends, everything social, which includes two categories, friends and acquaintances. You have heard that you're the sum of the five persons you hang out with, so choose wisely. Who are your best friends? Do you have any mentors? Do you have any toxic relationships? What relationships no longer serve you? Use the powerful ULA principle of unfollow, unfriend, and delete. So, what is your dream regarding friends? What's your goal? It could be something like make a new friend, repair a broken friendship, break free from a toxic friendship, Spend more quality time with friends. Apply the Oola principle I mentioned before to all your acquaintances. Or maybe what you want is a mentor. Whatever you think of, write it down. Last but not least, there's Oola Fun, which explores your personal passion in life. What do you do for fun? Do you have enough free time? Do you enjoy your free time? Fun is very important because there can be a life where there's only work and no play. So, what are your fun goals? Maybe it's having more free time, assigning time for fun, or starting a new hobby like learning the guitar. Maybe it's taking a trip or going away on a week, one weekend per month. Maybe it's creating a bucket list and doing at least one thing per year. Go crazy. What are the things you always wished you wanted to do but never got to doing them? Don't go through life without experiencing any of them. Write your fun goals now. I want to say a few more things about fun. If you noticed earlier, one of my core spiritual values is playfulness. I spent most of my life being a good girl, trapped at my must do's, until I realized that this is not how anyone should live their lives. I have a quote I use everywhere now. Life is a learning playground. Stop taking it too seriously. And this is how I live my life. I want my work to be fun, to be something I really enjoy. I wake up in the morning and feel so happy and full of energy. I listen to my heart and my needs and do whatever calls for me that day. If things don't go as I planned, that's okay too. I learn, move on, and know that this too shall pass. I enjoy the journey, and this is what I want for you too. Get clear on what you want and start living it. And have fun along the way every day. That's what makes life good. That's what makes life Oola. Which brings us nicely to the next thing I want you to focus on. Now that you have an idea of your goals and dreams in the 7 key areas of life, I want you to pick one dream that will truly change your life or start the transformation and your transition to a better life. This particular dream is not always the easy one, but it's the most important one. There is a good possibility that you haven't even written it down yet, or you're afraid to write it down. The Oola guys always say if it scares you and makes you a little nervous, it's most likely the one. What is your Oola one? Does it immediately pop out? If not, take some time to go through the list after the webinar, but my suggestion to you is not to skip this step. After all, it's what the word says, the one that's going to truly make a difference in your life, a life where you'll wake up every morning and feel you can't wait to jump into. In the short video I shared, you saw the Oola guys traveling with the Oola bus. I love the concept of the Oola bus. I don't know if you noticed, but it is covered with stickers. The idea is that the Oola guys go from town to town, talk about Oola, and pass these stickers around so that people can write their Oola one and stick it on the bus. This takes the dream you have, and by writing it down and showing it to the world, it makes it real. You seal the deal. I love this idea. The bus now has many layers of stickers. I think it's more than 14 layers with people's life changing goals on it. So, what's yours? I again suggest you pause the video and think about this and write it down. So now you know where you are, which is your Oola wheel, and you know where you want to go, your Oola life. Starting, of course, with your Oola one. Going back to the GPS analogy, you plug in the destination and the GPS shows you how to get there. It creates a map or a plan of next steps. And this is what step 3 is all about. Step 3 is called the ULA plan, and it's a list of all the steps you need to take to reach to your goals and dreams. It would be amazing, of course, if we had an app to tell us exactly what we need to do, like the GPS. But like I said, it's simple but not easy, and this is where we need to put in the work. So, you know where you are in your life, that was step 1. You know where you want to go, that was step 2. And now you need to create a plan on how to get there. Don't worry if you don't see all the steps of the plan from the beginning. Think of the GPS again. As you go, it shows the next turn. And even if you get it wrong, it will recalculate the route to get you to your destination. But here's the catch. Did you hear what I said? As you move towards your destination. And this points to the third mistake people do and never get to living the life they want. Assuming they've done the first steps, many people stay in the planning or don't plan at all because they prefer to stay in their comfort zone, or they are too scared of change or afraid of failure, or maybe they just postpone taking action until the plan is perfect or the timing is right. But there is never a right time. The time is now to take action. And as you do, you'll get feedback and update your plan, and you'll start seeing all the next steps you need to take. As you move towards your Ula life, the road will become clearer and easier. Create your plan and look at those steps as little mini goals that you must accomplish every day because they'll lead you to your main goals and eventually to fulfilling your dreams and ultimately to creating your Ula life. Decide every day how you're going to get there. How are you going to take action every day? Here's how the Ula guys and myself make sure we take these vital action steps every day. You create a daily to do list, anyway and anywhere you prefer. You add the daily tasks, the appointments, the errands you have to do for the day, but in a separate column or space, you write down 3 action steps you need to take today to achieve your goals. And you make it your priority to do these steps. Just think about this. If you take 3 steps a day towards your Ula life, you will take over 1,000 steps per year. Isn't that amazing? You will have taken in a year over 1,000 steps towards your dream life. Today, I showed you the 3 steps to get the life you want and deserve, your Ula life. Step one is knowing where you are. You need to be aware of the problems in order to start fixing them. And that's, of course, your Oola wheel. Step two is defining exactly what you want in every area of your life, writing your Oola plan for the 7 F's of Oola. What you want for you and not to satisfy somebody else's wants and needs. What is also important is to figure out your Oola one, focus on that goal first. And step number three is creating a plan on how to get there and start taking consistent action. As we are coming to a close, I want you to think about your life and what you heard here today. You are destined for greatness and the purpose, and you're totally worth it. I have faith in you and know you can do it. All you have to do is start taking 3 steps per day. My suggestion to you is as soon as possible, take these first steps. One, and they might be obvious, but please do them. Do the Oola Wheel assessment so that you know exactly what needs fixing. Write down your goals in your Oola 1 to have a clear idea of where you want to go. And of course, start making a plan and start taking 3 steps per day. So, we have covered a lot of ground here today. Are you excited of the possibilities? Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed, or you might be thinking that you've tried this before and it didn't work because it was too hard or you didn't have the time. Maybe you just gave up after a while, but I can guarantee that if you start taking these steps, you are going to start moving towards your Ula life. And most importantly, you are going to enjoy your daily life more. You can change your life. If you're tired of what you're experiencing until today and have decided enough is enough, you're willing to work on yourself and these steps daily. You're ready to find the time to do the work because you know there's always time. You're open to learn new things. And last but not least, you're not afraid and ready to ask for help and support. I want to share with you my story because I've been where you are. At some point in my life, as I shared before, I was feeling depressed, unworthy, and lonely. Nothing was going well. And no, I was not behind bars in this photo that I'm sharing, but it sure felt like it back then until I had enough. When I decided to change my life around, I jumped into these self development programs and I tried following the instructions. It was hard. In the beginning, I was so lost. Which program to follow? Was I doing it right? I wish I had someone to guide me through this and answer all the questions that were coming up. I have to tell you that with trial and error, I managed to do it on my own. But it took me a lot longer than it would have if I had the support I needed. I now have a network of friends and mentors I can go to for advice. I learned the hard way how important it is to have at least one person in your life to be there for you. And why am I sharing this with you? Because I don't want you to make the same mistakes I did. If you're ready to jump into working on yourself and your dreams, you can either do it on your own with the greatest risk of failing, spending a long time looking for the right plan, getting lost in an uncertainty, and wasting so much time, like me, to find answers and solutions. Or you can rely on a supportive program so that you progress faster and never be stuck. Have a clear step by step plan, build your confidence to pursue your goals, and have support every step of the way. So ask yourself, what would you rather do? And how important is your happiness and peace of mind? I have a program you can follow right now to get the results you want. It's called Oola Transform. It's a 10-week intensive program that will help you take positive steps towards improving your fitness and health, your career, your relationship, your finances, and every other area of your life. Oola Transform is a step by step program that helps you create the life you want without feeling you're on your own, because it's combined with private coaching. And in 10 weeks, you'll confidently design and start implementing a specific plan of action to achieve your dreams without wondering if you're doing it right. So, let me tell you a bit more about what's included in the program. What you'll get for 10 weeks is weekly emails with study modules, which include video guides, learning tools, and detailed instructions for the week to set you up for success. You'll become part of the amazing Oola community and find help and support between like minded people, and you'll have them for the rest of your life. But most importantly, you'll get weekly 30-minute private coaching sessions with me to discuss problems and solutions for whatever you're working on. I'll be there to guide and support you every step of the way, and that's for 10 weeks. Transform will help you to develop a plan to reinvent yourself, looking at the most important categories in your life, from your finances to your health to your career and all the other areas. Create a prioritized list of strategies for bringing immediate change to your daily life. Set goals that can be broken down into achievable steps. Of course, help you set your one goal that we discussed that will level up every area of your life. Transform your health, body image, mental well being, and energy levels so that you have the stamina and clarity to achieve your biggest future successes. Build a support team of smart, reliable people who can advise and help you as you grow. Free your time to enjoy the lifestyle you deserve with personal productivity strategies designed to maximize your time off. Establish financial controls for your new life and begin allocating cash flow for debt elimination, financial independence, retirement, and of course, all other projects that you want to pursue. And last but not least, it will inspire you to dream big again, knowing you can achieve your biggest goals. Are you ready to start building the skills and confidence to achieve what you wish for you and your loved ones? Enroll today in Oola Transform. For the price of $9.97, you'll get 10 weeks of incredible worth of action steps, guidance, and personal support. And because I'm here to help you, I want to offer a free bonus just for you. For a limited time, when you enroll to the program, you'll get 5 more hours of private coaching with me worth $1,000. I'm giving you this because I know how important private coaching is and how it can help you accelerate your results. And I want you to have the life you always dreamed of, your Oola life. So it's time to invest in you and your happiness. Take action and hit the button below to enroll today. I really, really, really believe that this program can change your life, and it will be my privilege to work with you and make it happen. Thank you for spending this time with me. Now, go get your Oola life.